What's up, guys? Hope you're all doing well. Happy Friday. Let's see what's going on. All right, so today let's just go over the market quickly. We'll do the SPY and the QQQs. So far this morning we got, let's check the 15-minute chart. We've been looking in the past few months here, basically from February to April. We've had this range from 272 to 282 kind of been formed. And it's been really a key level of resistance that we had to break over. So as expected, we wanted this to kind of dip down, consolidate below. We finally had this nice move into earnings season back up to all-time highs. And right now, as you guys can see, we're kind of just sitting below these resistance levels that we're looking at right now. So key thing for today, we did have a little bit of a gap down. It's moving right back up and having a rounding action. So that's good for the market for our longs. It's not too big of a gap, so we don't have to be worried about anything being too extended and having to pull back at the open. So that's all nice. The market conditions healthy for today, and that's obviously a good indicator for our plays. So same thing with the QQQs. Going over the IPOs, I haven't been trading these much lately, but we can just go over them briefly. So we have Lyft. Not having that much action today, but it's got that base forming around 56. ZM, it's kind of just been hanging out too. The easier plays on these guys are obviously on day 1, 2, and 3. After that, they kind of just start to fall off or break their patterns and charts. GMIA, same kind of thing, not on my list today. Pins is decent. One thing some guys were mentioning, they were liking it. It is going to be on its day 5 move. So that's one thing just to be kind of leery of, just watching it on the upside. This thing might not have as much juice as it did in previous days. Now for my actual list, I got about 5, 6, 7 stocks on my list, but none of them are that too hot today. So it's going to be a little bit more patient. Wait out at the open, see what happens, see if anything comes up on the scans. But for right now, I have these 2 continuation plays, XLNX and VC. They're both going to have the SSR on them today, so we have to just be leery on that. Wait it out, watch them pop at the open. For these guys, I just have a couple resistance points in terms of the highs on XLNX. I'm looking for this to pop between 17, 18, 19, then have that rounding action, come below VWAP, and then hit that for a VWAP fizzle down for a green to red pattern. Next one, the VC. VC is nice, but the only thing with it is that it's already had, it's going to be its 5th down day too, so it's not going to be as clean as well. What's up, Timmy? Kanal's watching some football with the guys, and he's away, so he couldn't do the pre-market today. That's why I'm hopping on. Those of you who don't know, my name's Josh too. I'm the guy behind a lot of the scenes here at Bulls. So back to this. So VC, it's really nice. It's got the 61 level forming. It's already topped it twice. Just kind of hanging around. The only thing that we're going to be leery of, obviously, like I mentioned, is that it's going to be day 5 of its move. Also, it doesn't look like it's got that much volume pre-market, but nonetheless, it's still there. RBZ, so these are going to the gappers now for today. RBZ is not bad. Trying to pull up the news on it for you guys here. But the one thing to watch out for these guys is, especially with these smaller cap ones, they don't move as clean, and they also make most of their move in the first 10, 15 minutes to open, and then they'll just fade it off the rest of the day. So this is a stock you don't want to marry, but it also is one that's got a low float right here, 7 million shares. So that's one thing that's really nice to be mindful of. You might get those really nice rips where it might be 50, 100%, but at the same time, you got to really be managing your risk on these guys, just because of the fact that, as you guys can see in past, this thing falls back down as fast as it goes back up. So WDC, this is on the down gap, so it's coming right down to the 50 level here, right before the open. That's right on the 50 SMA as well, so that's kind of a good telltale sign of where this thing can go. My prediction is the same thing on this one. If we have a strong open in the market, this thing might bounce and hold this 50 level. If we get a rollover, then this will be a nice level to watch for shorts as well. INTC, similar kind of idea here. We got the 53 level holding. The one nice thing about this is that it's gapping below the 50 SMA. We got some room down to 50 as well, where the 200 MA is. So that's also a nice one. The only thing with these 2 guys is they're a little bit thicker. This one's got 262 million shares. And then we got this guy's 4.4 billion. Hey, Chris, who the fuck are you? UWT, so the 3 times ETF for oil. On the long side, we have UWT and DWT both making some moves pre-market. So I have these on the list as well, just for Orbi at the opens. And then lastly, I got F as well, holding this 10 level. That's going to be kind of nice too. It's kind of making this move over its gap fill. Oops. If you zoom out here, it's kind of breaking out all of these last taps. So that's kind of nice to have. On the upside, we kind of have this room to 12 in terms of some highs here. But nonetheless, guys, if you guys look at this list, there isn't stuff that's that too clean. So I mean, that's why for me at least, I like to just wait out on these kind of days, especially with it being Friday as well. Wait it out the open, first 5, 10, 15 minutes. Don't force your trades. You guys have already had a good week. Wait it out. Just don't make this day ruin your entire week trying to force trades, your bench charts, or your patterns to make stuff work. So let me go through some of your guys' stuff here. What's up, Rob? Okay, so got STZ. Let me check that guy today. STZ decent. So same kind of thing though. You guys, I'm guessing you're watching this for parabolic short. I wouldn't be looking at this for longs per se, because now this would be on day 7. So that's one thing that I will mark it down though, because that's kind of nice to watch on the backside. I've been liking playing these bigger stocks lately on the ranges. You don't need as much shares obviously to get the same rips. So. ACB. Aurora's decent. I haven't traded this guy in a while though. The range intraday has kind of been so chopped up, and I mean, there's not much edge on it unless you're swinging it. But even on the swing side, I mean, it's only really moved $5 in the last, 4 or 5 months. So not my cup of tea. Nice, Rob. That's a sick trade, man. AKTX. Go through that. AKTX is decent too. I know my brother was looking at this actually. Same thing. It is picking up on volume. So if this thing does come up, it's traded 20, 30,000 shares. Mark that down. What else you guys got? What's up, Danny? Suave. This one's decent too. It's an IPO stock. So Shockwave. One thing to be mindful of is that it's kind of this 40 level. It likes to get rejected pretty fast on as well. But it does have some nice support around 38, 39. So that's one thing. Yeah, if we get a dip or a hold on those levels, we could ride this thing back up as well. What else we got? BHA. It's decent. The one thing on the downside, if you're looking at this for shorts, which I'm guessing you're not, but anything below $10, it gets a lot harder to short or pull a range out of it, just because the obviously is not as clean of a move to the downside. RBZ, yeah, I got that guy down. Tree, I haven't heard that one yet. Tree, and that's a nice gap too. A little bit too high for my liking in terms of the price. Nonetheless, it is at all-time high, so that's one thing you could have marked down as well. TZO, Travel Zoo. This one was nice, right around 1750. So you have 1750. We also have the highs right around 18 here as well. TZO's not bad. I would take that as well. Travel Zoo, EHTH. Let's go with that. This one's decent as well, coming at all-time highs. Volume pre-market's a little light, but that's not bad. I mean, as long as this thing picks up some steam at the open and holds a 70 level, then yeah, we'd be clean to rock on this guy. Actually, mark this one down too. Okay, so let's just go through this quickly again, filter the list. So pins, I've been monitoring the IPOs just for any moves, so I'm always just going to keep that on. XLNX, green to red, VC for green to red. RBZ for ORB gapper, WC for ORB gapper to the downside. Same thing with INTC. And then we have the oils, long and shorts for movements on those guys. And then we got F for holding this 10 level. STZ. I'm going to take STZ off. Actually, I'm not going to have that guy. AKTX, making that gap. So if we hold that 4 level, that'll be clean hold over. And then Suave, and we got EHTH. EHTH is probably one of my favorites right now to the gappers now. I'll put that up higher with RBZ and WDC. But what else you guys got? WB's R8. It's kind of in the mix of this range, so I'm not going to be too happy about trading that guy. YY. Yeah, same thing with YY. I mean, it already held that down gap, so if on the upside, maybe sure, but when it gets into this kind of chop zone, I don't like trading that at all. I like trading stocks that are making moves to the downside or upside and have those bigger ranges where you can get a piece of the pie a lot easier on them. Grub decent. It is holding over that the 50 MA. Nice thing to see. The grub, when it does go too, it's got some nice range days as well. So that's one thing to keep in mind of when it does go. It's really nice for day trades. No props, Robbie. NBCO. What's up, Josh? NBCO, that's a nice one as well. You got some nice upside on that guy. Kind of made a double top here, and it's breaking up above the 30 level. Yeah, I'd like that as well. Good stuff. All right. Other than that, like I said, my list, I'd honestly rate it like a B plus. I'm not too happy about it today in terms of the gappers, but I mean, that's, like I said, that's expected on Fridays. It's going to be a slower day as usual anyways. So just, be patient at the open. If you guys are up, like I mentioned, take some time off or, trade a little bit less size. Don't force your chart patterns or your trend lines. Just make sure that stuff's aligning on all time frames. You have volume to support it. And then, just filter your watch list down and really rock and roll today. So hope you guys enjoyed today. Let's hit it hard. Have a great weekend. And for those of you guys that don't know, my name is Josh. I work with Bulls. I have been for the last 5.5 years. So let's get them today, guys. Have a good one. Have a good weekend. Take care.